Hi guys, my name is Eza and welcome back to my channel. I sincerely apologize for whatever's happening, which is my bookshelf. I don't know, oh my god, I have so many cat fur. But yeah, sorry for the background. I haven't cleaned my bookshelf in a while. But yes, this video is going to be on my June 2021 wrap up, where I'm gonna talk about books, anime, and kind of some of the mangas that I have read for the month of June. And let's get started. So for the first book that I finished in June, I actually accidentally put it in my January to May wrap up, which is Amok by Anna Tan, and that book I gave it 3 out of 5. I actually have a review for it, so I'm gonna link it somewhere here for you guys to see if you're interested. And then the next book that I finish is The Recovery of Rose Gold by Stephanie Roble. I give this book a 3 out of 5, and the reason for that is because I don't understand what this book is trying to tell me. I don't understand the message it's trying to send. You understand? I don't know. I feel like the premise of the plot and then the characters are good, but I feel execution was not there yet. It was an okay book, but at the end of the day, I don't understand what it's trying to say, what it's trying to prove. Is it even trying to send me a message? And I don't like the climax of it because I felt like it was very anticlimactic, and the ending just confused me. Okay, why did this character do that to get to this ending? What, you know? So basically, after reading this book, all I could think of was what and why. And I was left without an answer. And then the next book that I have read, which kind of reminds me, the month of June, I have read a lot of historical romance, and it's not because of my historical romance readathon, which I have a vlog for that, which I must have to say, I'm not doing very well. I finished five challenges, but I only read 2 books-ish. But yeah, I digress. In the month of June, I read a lot of historical romance, and the first historical romance that I read was The Duke's Shotgun Wedding by Stacey Reid. This one was actually a novella. I gave this a 3 out of 5. My main qualm with this book was the fact that it needed to be longer, because I felt like it was too rushed. It was too insta romance. It was too fast. Basically, the pacing was too fast that you couldn't really enjoy it as much. Other than that, I felt like it was a good book. I still enjoyed it, even though I said it was too fast. But you know, I didn't enjoy it to the maximum capability that I could have, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I gave this book a 3 out of 5. Not that it wasn't, bad or anything. It was okay. It was okay. The next book that I read is The Beast of Besswick by Emily Howard. Emily? I don't know. So this book I gave a 4 out of 5, and it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I read two retellings of Beauty and the Beast this month. But yeah, it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and again, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5, like I said just now. Not much qualms in terms of this book. I like the pacing. I really like the characters. But one thing that I have to say that I did not like about this book, it was okay at first, but then it started to annoy me after a while, was the fact that, what was this guy's name? Nathaniel? I think, I forgot his last name, but the Duke is Nathaniel. And Nathaniel, or Thane as they call him in the book, he's so insecure, right? He keeps running away from the heroine. Constantly running away. I don't understand. How many times does she have to prove herself to you before you understand that she likes you and then she loves you? You keep running away from her. First, you keep saying, oh, it's because of my looks, I'm not good enough. But after the 100th time that you run away, even I would say to the girl, bitch, move on. There's so many other dukes out there that you can snare. I don't think this is the one, sis. I don't think this is the one, because it's just so fucking tiring, He keeps running away. He keeps saying, oh, you don't love me. At first they'll be cool with each other, and they're all lovey-dovey, and then he gets insecure and he runs away. Whatever whatever happened to communication and talking it out? Whatever happened to that? Nobody knows. Okay, then let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth book that I read in June is Rogues Rush In by Christy Caldwell and Tessa Dare. This book is actually 2 novellas in one book. And the first story is, wait, let me see my review on my blog. But the first book is His Bride for the Taking by Tessa Dare. I give this a 3 out of 5. I do not have any complaints about this book. I felt like the pacing was great, the characters were great, everything was fun. I had no problems with it. Was it like super good? Did it blow my mind? No, which is why it's 3 out of 5. But overall, no complaints whatsoever. The next novella, though, in this book, oh my god, it was so annoying. It was so, okay. The next book is His Duchess for a Day by Christy Caldwell. I gave this a 2 out of 5. I completely hated it. Basically, it's about this couple, right? This couple, Crispin and what was her name? Elizabeth or something, whatever her name is. They're childhood friends. They're supposedly childhood best friends, right? And then obviously Crispin is a duke. And then he kind of eloped or married his childhood friend Elizabeth. And then something happened. Like there's some miscommunication. You know how that goes. Some miscommunication happens and she runs away. And you know how long she runs away for? Fucking 9 years. 9 years. She was just gone. No explanation to him. Doesn't tell him shit. She doesn't tell him anything, just went out missing. She could be dead for all he knew. And then, so it's like 9 years. And then when he finally found her again, and he's like saying, hey, I need you back in London. We need to, discuss something. I need to show to people that I am already married. I cannot marry another girl, right? Because there'll be bigamy. Yeah, bigamy is not a big thing. Or is it polygamy? Polygamy isn't a big thing. Bigamy? I'm not too sure, but something is not a good thing in London back in the day. And so she's like, okay, fine, whatever. But then she has the audacity to get mad at him over what she did, which was running away from him. I understand that there was a plot hole, because he's a duke, and then it took him like 9 years to finally find her. I don't know what took him so long. He had so much money. But other than that, it's like she got mad at him because she ran away. And then I'm like, I don't understand. 9 years, bro. 9 years. Couldn't you just communicate to him? You say that you guys are like supposedly best friends, right? But I have best friends too. I don't let this like stupid miscommunication, completely ruin my friendship. I will hunt my best friend down if suddenly one day she refused to talk to me or he refused to talk to me. Like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? I need some answers, This friendship needs closure. If you don't want to be friends with me anymore, you don't want a relationship with me anymore, then that's fine. I understand. It'll definitely hurt my soul, definitely. But like, if you really cannot tolerate me anymore and it's for your own mental sanity, then fine. What can I do if somebody doesn't want to be with you? I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine, this whole miscommunication between like friends specifically. Relationship, I don't really care, but friends specifically and miscommunication, it's my biggest pet peeve. If it's like a year or two, I would completely understand, like, okay, maybe you need some time to chill the fuck out and think it through. But almost a decade, and I get it. Elizabeth, or whatever her name is, didn't want to like confront Crispin, just in case she got hurt. But then that doesn't give you a right to be bitchy towards him for your own actions. Like, grow up, man. Grow the fuck up. So yes, those are my feelings for that novella. And then the sixth book that I read is Duchess by Night by Eloisa James. And this one I gave a 3 out of 5, and I didn't really like this book, to be quite honest. I honestly think that Eloisa James's books, especially in audiobook form, is just not for me because I was bored. I was so bored out of my fucking mind. I was so bored. There was so much talking. All they did was just talk about incessant things, like how the tea was, how the party was. Talk, 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 talk. And then it's so much talking, but the banter isn't interesting. What they're talking about isn't interesting to me. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. So yes, that it was completely boring for me. And then another thing that I didn't like about this book was the pacing. The pacing, I don't even know if it's the pacing, but basically something happened towards the end of the book where I just felt like it was ill, you know? Okay, the book is about like this, what's her name? Harriet. She's a duchess. Her husband committed suicide. And then she wanted to, like go to this party hosted by Justinian Strange. And his party is well known to be really out there, really, really outlandish, really over the top. And then she had to go to this party as a man because apparently Justinian Strange doesn't like nobility. So she had to go there covertly, basically, and pretend to be a man. And then it gave her so much freedom that she really enjoyed. She really enjoyed that freedom, and she really enjoyed being a man, and she enjoyed the parties and everything. And then so because she enjoyed the parties, it was really discombobulating for me, or it bamboozled me basically, when towards the end, suddenly out of nowhere, she just told Justinian or Tem or Jem, I can't remember, in the book. And then she says, like, I don't like your parties. I don't like random people in your house. Like, it's not fun for me. But then also she says to herself that she likes the parties. And she likes, like, the freedom it gives and all the people that she meets. So I was confused. Like, do you like the party or you don't like the party? You can't have it both ways. You can't have, like, you can't like the party but also hate the party. Because then wouldn't you just be confused? You like it or you hate it? What's going on? So she wants him to change his lifestyle and everything, like, overnight for her. I understand, like, where she's coming from. Like, it's not safe for his kid. He has a kid, by the way, in this book. It's not safe for his kid. He's not really he's not really taking care of her properly. There's too many, like, strangers in the house and not enough security. But then I feel like the author should have showed that he was more interested in his science stuff instead of this party. Because all I could read is, like, it was famed to be, like, over the top. I was already thinking, like, what do you call it? The movie Eyes Wide Shut, the sex orgy. I was already thinking, like, shit, there's gonna be some sex orgy here, And then when I read it, it's just them making, like, doing a play, and it wasn't that, I don't know, it wasn't that shocking, I guess. I wanted to be shocked. I didn't get shocked, so that disappointed me. And then another thing is, I don't understand the pacing. Like I said just now, like, first you liked it, then overnight you hated it. Why? And another thing that I have to say, like, they never show, or the author never showed, why Justinian Strange hates nobility. He just hates them. The why, you're not sure. Like, he says that, he dislikes their hypocrisy and all that, but it's not a strong enough reason, because he does have nobility in his in his parties and his Promero games, which is what he's more known for. Basically, he does these parties to cover for his Promero gambling or games. I'm getting confused. But basically, yeah, I wish that the author showed us more of why he hates nobility, because then it gives more weight into why Harriet had to dress as a man. Because once that is blown over, like, the reason of why Justinian Strange doesn't like nobility is flimsy, right? Then the reason why Harriet had to be a man also becomes extremely flimsy. It's like, why even? Can't the author just say, like, she wanted to be a man because she wanted to taste freedom, She wanted to see how it feels like to be free. So yes, am I making sense, or am I just confusing things? Okay, but the last book that I read in June is To Beguile a Beast by Elizabeth Hoyt, and this is another. Like I said just now, this is my second Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I actually really like this book. I felt like the pacing was done well. I really like the characters and how different they are from the typical historical romance characters that I always read. Although for some reason, I really envision Helen, which is the heroine of the book, as a redhead. I'm really into redheads now in books. But she's blonde in the book. And I really liked how Sir Alistair, his like wounds is like his eye, he's half blind. Although I did find like a plot hole, or is it a typo? Because the author said his eyes, but he only has one eye. So, But anyways, there's only like one mistake in the book. Overall, I really enjoyed it. No complaints except for the part he keeps calling her a whore towards the end. I mean, it was like I said just now, it was correct. It was technically correct. But it's not very nice though, is it? You don't call people you care about whores. Unless it's a kink that you guys do. Then that's fine. But in this book, it wasn't a kink. He was really cussing her out. So I did not like that. So that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Other than that, yeah, I really liked it. Okay, now we're going to go to the anime that I watched this month. The only anime that I watched this month is Jujutsu Kaisen. And honestly, I should have been on the bandwagon earlier. It was like all the rage in TikTok, like I think 2019, 2020. But I didn't get it. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this shit. You know, because it's overhyped on TikTok. I wasn't gonna watch it. And then I watched it, and now I'm obsessed. So my favorite character is obviously Nanami Kento. Hot. Super hot. Same age, 28, super hot. Whew. But yeah, I don't know, I feel conflicted if I like the younger characters. I feel like a pedophile. Because they're 15, 16. It just feels ew, you know? Ew. So the only characters that I do like is Nanami Kento and Gojo, like, you know, like them that way. Even with Gojo, I don't know. I really don't like him that way. I like his powers though. He's very OP. So yeah, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. So right now I'm reading the manga to see what's going on, because season 2 hasn't even come out yet. And in terms of movies, I did watch 3 movies. Technically 4. No, wait. Yes, I watched 4 movies. The first one is Dabe. I can't really remember which Dabe. Is it number 4 or number 5? But I watched one of the Dabes. And this one was where it was the psychologist friend trying to heal her friend yang kena asok or something. Like, she didn't believe that her friend was possessed. And then she was like, okay, she just needs psychological help. So, but then she's at the same time thinking, okay, you know what? Might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's get like a witch doctor. Not really a witch doctor, I guess an ustaz. They call it a hoja in the movie. My God, this book, I keep thinking it's a book. But this movie, I had so many issues with it. The first and the main issue that I had with it, aside from it being not scary whatsoever, was the fact that how the hell did they fit a goddamn palak kalbo in the goddamn toilet? Palak kalbo. The head of the cow was this big. This big. And then you're telling me that it was found inside of the toilet? Like, okay, it was a squatting type toilet, right? So this Hoja kind of like broke the toilet, and then he found, black magic stuff underneath the toilet base, right? He found a goddamn cow skull. Did nobody notice there was a cow skull there? Okay, like, first of all, did nobody notice it? Number 2, let's say that it was put there before the toilet was, formed, or like conducted. What is it? I don't know. You know what I mean. Nobody noticed it. Nobody noticed it. Second, I'm already at my third point. Third point, they found liver. At least I think it's liver. It's like a cow's liver, and it was fucking fresh, bitch. It was fresh AF, fresh as a daisy. And you're telling me that this fresh AF liver was found underneath the toilet that's been there for years? Make it make sense. And that's not the only thing that they found underneath that one toilet. It was a goddamn cow skull. It was fresh liver. It was a shit ton of voodoo dolls. And I'm like, how did they fit in there? And that completely broke my immersion of the story, because I'm like, how did all that fit in that toilet is my question. How? Another question that I have to say is, why wasn't Ebru possessed, right? Okay, because the story is like this. Back in the day, Ebru and her friend, I can't remember her friend's name. Let's just name her Katya. Ebru and Katya, even though they're Turkish. But yeah, Ebru and Katya are like childhood friends, and their dads were also like friends. And their dads lived in this other village. And then their dads like contacted jinn, genies, to get the help of the genies to get gold, I guess. And they kind of trapped this jinn. And then because they trapped this jinn, the family of the jinn and the jinn itself kind of cursed their family, right? Cursed their family because, like, fuck you, man. Deal with the devil, basically. But the thing is, why Ebru wasn't possessed by this jinn that has been haunting and terrorizing Katya's family and herself? Because Katya is possessed by this jinn, right? Completely possessed by this jinn. And the reason she's possessed by this jinn is because this jinn was backstabbed by her dad, if you're following me. So if Katya was possessed after she turned 23 and then she completely stabbed her new husband to death, why wasn't Ebru possessed? Because their dads made the same deal. I don't understand. Okay? What else do I have? Oh, also, why was Katya, first of all, not in jail, and why was Katya not in a mental facility? She stabbed her new husband to death. There was a goddamn video of it. Why is she free? She's just chilling at the house. Like, it's house arrest. It's not like, the dude is alive and then she just cut his face or something. The man is dead. She stabbed him to death. Why is she not locked up is my question, right? But yeah, that Kerbo though, that Kerbo, I'm just like, how did that Kerbo even fit there? I'm confused. But the second Dabe that I watched, also, it wasn't that scary. This one is about, like, she keeps getting haunted. Her husband doesn't believe that she's getting haunted. He just thinks that she's crazy or overstressed. And then it turns out that this lady, when she was a baby, she was really, really sick. And then her parents brought her to this village. And then this village took another baby that was just born and kind of transferred her sickness to this other baby and killed that baby. Again, with the help of the jinn. And then the mother of said dead baby now wants revenge. So that's one. And then the second thing is that it turns out in this movie, this lady who's being haunted, her best friend is having an affair with her husband. And the reason why the husband went with the best friend is because, again, she was using black magic to get him. There's a lot of black magic basically in this Dabe movie, which kind of reminds me of like Turkish movies. They use a lot of black magic-ish, but it's not scary. Not scary at all. I don't understand. Like, I have watched Sichin 1 to 6, or is it 1 to 7, and then Dabe 4 to 5. It's not scary whatsoever. People keep all the reviews that I keep seeing online says, oh, it's super scary. It's so scary. Yeah, I watched it alone in the middle of the night. It's not scary. Or maybe it's because I'm Sarawakian, and Sarawakian people and Sarawak itself believes in black magic, and I have seen personally eye to eye, you know, with my own eyeballs, black magic shit. So that when I watch a movie about it, or when I see it or read it, it's not really scary for me, because I'm like, doesn't really work that way, sis. But yeah, not scary. But yeah, the next movie that I watched is Roh. Roh, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I kind of enjoyed it. I felt like it was trying to be like the movie The Witch. I cannot remember the director's name, but The Witch, that has Anna Taylor-Joy is her name. Yeah, I never watched The Witch, but I watch a lot of analysis over it, and I felt like it was very trying to give the vibe of The Witch, but didn't really achieve it in execution. I don't know what to say. Basically, when I watched the movie, I felt like it was good, but I was too stupid to understand the analogy and the nuance it's trying to tell me. You know? Like the movie is too smart for me. So yeah. I liked it, but I would have liked it more had I understood what the hell was going on. Basically that. The next movie that I watch is Too Handsome to Handle. Okay, this movie, I definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's so funny. It's an Indonesian movie, basically about this guy, this teenage boy, who is too handsome. He's too handsome. People fall in love with him. Girls go absolutely batshit crazy over him. He went to an all-girls school. The all-girls school, what do you call it? Mokoyan. Not even Mokoyan. They got possessed. Kena kasok. Because he was too handsome. They lost their shit, basically. Watch it. It's so funny. I laughed so hard watching it. I was like, shit, I didn't even know this movie could be this stupid. It's like stupidly funny, you know? Padahal that guy's face biasa aja. But then the movie is like, whew. Really good. Definitely recommend. And the last movie that I watched is a rewatch. Basically, it's The Princess and the Frog by Disney. And who doesn't like The Princess and the Frog? So yeah, that is this month's wrap up. I hope you understand my reviews. It was kind of like all over the place. I should have scripted it more, but I didn't. So I thought I could remember everything that I wanted to say and just like spout it out. But now that I think about it, yeah, I'm not good at remembering things. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to support me by giving donations or whatever, I have my links for coffee and my Patreon down in the description. And yeah, bye guys. See you in the next video.